I actually didn't try using a bleed in gate 3, but I think it's not bad, like using bleed or poison in gate 3, but I think I like quick recharge just because I can use my skills more often. Okay, I guess let's talk about builds because I feel like builds are really important. And I mean, Gun Lancer doesn't have a crazy of a build. It's pretty standard. You can just run this, which is I think I have this link in the document. I haven't changed it in a while, but oh, this is wrong. This should be over here. Pretty much quick recharge down the line, but you don't have to run this one. This one I kind of just have this for fun because I feel like most things in Lost Ark can't kill me through counter gun lance. I feel like the shield from counter gun lance is more than enough. I think in gate 3 specifically, when I'm on eye level on my alt gun lancers, I really do like running protection. When you run protection, I can show you difference now. There's no protection here. The shield goes away as soon as the skill's over, and if you proc it, yeah, as soon as your counter gun lance goes off, your shield goes away. When you run protection, however, the shield lingers, which is really important in some patterns. So you can get a little bit of a shielding there. Show it one more time. A little bit of linger. And this is really, really important for a lot of patterns that do really high damage to you. And you can take Iron Wall, but Iron Wall just reduces the damage you take during the skill effect, which ends as soon as your counter gun lance procs. So I do prefer protection over Iron Wall for those purposes. Unless you're taking something really, really stupid like one shot, which shouldn't really kill you, especially if you're using counter gun lance. Even without the Sorry Armor tripod. I really don't like this tripod. It fucking sucks because I don't like feeling sluggish. I like being able to feel fast and get all my skills off as fast as possible and rotating through all my skills. So yeah, if you don't want to run 5 quick recharges, you can run protection. But yeah, this is pretty much standard. Everything I have here is in my document. There's nothing changed. For gate 1 and gate 2, exact same, nothing's changed here. Just run complete standard gun lancer. In gate 3, I've had a lot of people ask me about Rising Gun Lance versus Firebolt, and I do have a page for that, Rising Gun Lance. And the reason why you run Rising Gun Lance in gate 3 is because you can land all of your ticks. And what I mean by that is Rising Gun Lance, when you use it, has 5 ticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The initial hit does a tick as well, but like it's so little that it doesn't even matter. It's like bash damage. Like it's either 1.5 mil. That's the first tick of Rising Gun Lance. It's one after that that matters, and I'll show you here. See? 5. There's 5 ticks. And when you hit all 5 ticks, the damage of the skill is really, really, really good. It's slightly stronger than Dash for Fire. So like if I show you right here. Yeah, 134. 170. But because Rising Gun Lance is a lower cooldown, and it's very, very easy to use, as in you can just press it. Whenever it's off cooldown, even if you're on the back, just fucking press it. Because it's doing that much damage. Right? And the more you use it, the more damage you get, obviously. I don't get to take a rocket scientist to figure that out. But the really, really nice thing about Rising Gun Lance is that you press it and then you immediately cast on a skill, right? Whereas other skills, there's cast time. You can press it and boom, right into Surge Cannon. You can't cast your Dash for Fire, and then as your like Dash for Fire is going off, you can't cast Surge Cannon or something like that, right? So you can't just press it and then you press on a skill. And you're doing damage in 2 avenues at once. It's really nice in that aspect. Whereas with Firebolt is upfront. It costs more time to cast. And time is important, especially when you're trying to get everything off as fast as possible. You don't have that time. So just being able to press it and then immediately go into another skill is really, really convenient. Now, the thing I don't really like about Rising Gun Lance is that you can't spacebar cancel it. Because if you try like this, I show you right here, it doesn't go off. It's just bullshit. So you can try all you want. Even if you like wait a little bit as you're here, your spacebar is a little delayed. Like, I'm pressing it now. You can see it's a little bit delayed. It's hard to visualize because you can't see like when I'm pressing it, but if you try it yourself, it's a little delayed. And if you try to spacebar too early, you cancel it just like this. There's just no cast. Is it a swift build? No. I mean, you can say that I'm a little fast than usual because I have 1200 swiftness, but I think in the general range of like 800 to 1200, around 1000 swiftness is where you want to be. And because it's really easy to use, if you look at any gate 3 log from me or Dan, because Dan's not an idiot, you can see that Rising Gun Lance is really, really strong. It's 8% of my overall, whereas Firebolt would probably be like what, 2-3%. It's above Dash for Fire. And I mean, you can look at Dan's log too, right? Dan is the same exact thing. I think Dan and I are the only ones using Rising Gun Lance, which is really sad because I feel like it's really, really good. And a lot of Gun Lance can do a lot more damage if they just use Rising Gun Lance. Actually, does Shotgun use it? I think I told Shotgun to use it. I don't know if he's using it though. He is, but he's not using it properly. But if you look at Dan's log, Rising Gun Lance is also above Dash for Fire. That's how good it is. Like, you also need to be using it properly. What I mean by that is you need to be using it off cooldown. You can't just use all your skills, right? And just ignore Rising Gun Lance, right? You can't just use all your skills and put them all on cooldown and then just run around like this. You see all my Rising Gun Lance has not been used yet, and I've used Dash for Fire twice. Like, I'm just running around. The proper way to do it, Rising Gun Lance first. And then use your skills. And then as it comes up, use it again, and cycle through your skills. And in that same time that I've used all my skills, I've used Rising Gun Lance 3 times. You need to prioritize using Rising Gun Lance because you're able to use it simultaneously as your other skills, so doing more damage at the same time. It's about efficiency. It's kind of like multitasking. No, it is multitasking. While you're doing one thing, you can do another. So while this is being used, because you're using it right now, you can do damage using 2 skills at once, rather than just like blindly just spamming all your high damage skills at once up front to get them on cooldown. A from loss is big, so you heal all skills. Yeah, exactly. That's the purpose of it. Because you're able to just get all 5 ticks, it's really, really, really strong. The tripod used for Rising Gun Lance is 212, nothing else. There's no point using charge. This is dumb as fuck. Earth Fragment makes it so it's more upfront. It just does all the damage at once, but it's a little bit weaker. And you don't want that because all the ticks add up to do more damage. Flame Spear is worthless. Thundercrack is worthless unless you're in Echidna or doing Vicus Hell mode to uncharm people because it is a stun. And Surprise Attack does literally nothing. I'm pretty sure I've tried it. I really try hard to see like how much it changes. There's no difference. It doesn't do anything. Like, side-by-side comparison, it does literally fucking nothing. Yeah. I mean, I can kind of see the animation a little faster, but like it's so small that it doesn't do anything in the long term. Actually, I wonder, can you cancel it? No. Okay, so it does nothing. Don't take it. Take 212. Don't do anything else. If you're doing anything else, you're trolling. Charge is worthless. Surprise Attack's worthless. Thundercrack's worthless. Flame Spear is worthless. Earth Fragment, worthless. I'll show you what it does right now, just so you can see. That's it. Not only that, it locks you in this animation, so you wait the entire time. You can't spacebar cancel it, because if you do... I mean, actually you can. No, you can't. Don't take it. It's trash. 212. That's all you need to. Also, you want to put this at 14 and move Counter Gun Lance down to 13 because Counter Gun Lance, from my personal experience, is better off used as an oh fuck skill. And what I mean by that is you did something, you fucked up. Oh shit. Oh fuck. I fucked up. I need a way to get myself out of this sticky situation. You press Counter Gun Lance, boom, you're fine. It's like a time stop, but it's not. It's a time stop you have on a 16-second cooldown. It's really nice. And yes, it's still a damage skill. You want to use it towards the boss, right? Nothing about that, right? But it's not doing much. In any of my logs, it's not doing much. 2-3% at most. It's like Fireball, except not Fireball. And because Mordum has a lot of stuns, Counter Gun Lance is status element immunity, meaning you can tank stuns and be completely fine. Like the most obvious example of this is when he does tornadoes in Gate 3, he like spawns a yellow orb in his hand and then he unleashes a bunch of tornadoes that stun you. And then afterwards, there's a safe spot ring. You can Counter Gun Lance a tornado and then spacebar the ring. So like have double status element immunity. It's really, really strong. It's a very, very, very good utility skill. It's actually the best utility skill in the game, hands down. 15-second time stop. That's when you watch it is in Mordum. But yeah, those are pretty much 2 main builds that you play throughout Mordum. Fire Bullet, Gate 1, Gate 2, Rising Gun Lance, Gate 3. Nothing else. If you're doing anything else, you're trolling. If you're playing blue, you're trolling. Don't do it. Gate 1, I feel like there's not much to say about Gate 1 because it's simple, I guess. I feel like you can play through Gate 1 without knowing a single thing and still clear. Aside from mechanics, obviously. And we can look at this initial part. The first thing I always do, spacebar inwards, taunt, bash. And then I just cast Surge Cannon. Even if it hits a fucking side, I don't care. I Surge Cannon. This is the rare moment in which it does not turn, but I would typically spacebar into the direction and try to front attack my Charge Slinger. And if you can do it fast enough, you're able to Counter Gun Lance the last one. Like that. Obviously, I'm a little fucking slow in the head, but if I had spacebar cancel, which I don't here, you can spacebar cancel, Counter Gun Lance that stab. That stab does a lot of damage, and if you fuck it up, you lose all your shield meter, so don't do that. If you find yourself not being fast enough to get your Charge Slinger off, don't. It's more important that you Counter Gun Lance the stab in order to preserve your shield meter, because if you have no shield meter, you can't play the game, and you're just down 30% damage for fun. And then I T-skill immediately. It's probably bad practice to T-skill immediately, because he can turn, like you see here, and I missed my T-skill, but that's typically what I do. And then most patterns here are really, really annoying. This one though, the butterfly, this one's actually not that bad. What I do is I wait for him to turn. I go over there and I Surge Cannon in the front. I don't have here, obviously. And then I go to the back. Because the head lingers a little bit. If you go here as he's turning, you can charge a skill and hit the front. And this is White Sword. White Sword's really dangerous. It's really hard to read this. If he's to aggro on you, you can Counter Gun Lance and try to the front, but I don't recommend it. That was just lucky. Obviously dodge this. There are some circumstances where you can like stand over here or here if you're there in time and then charge him at the front. Obviously I'm out of position for that, so I'm not doing that. I don't know what the fuck that is. Don't look at that. This is an easy one. This is right, left, stab, explosion front. If you're in the front and he's aggroing you, you can kind of go on that side as well. It's one of the things I get for a pattern. This is 360, I think. No, it's not. And then he jumps forward and yeah. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. This is a butterflies again. Yeah, I go to the front, I Surge Cannon, and then go to the back immediately. Afterwards. Gunline shot is more of a front-loaded skill, so that one's fine to use there. Now that he's phased, if your cooldowns are up, you can greed a little bit here. Obviously mine are down, so I can't. But I typically run down, and I think the big thing that now we can talk about is this. It's really bad to be in the cardinal or intercardinal direction of the boss. And what I mean by that is the boss is in the middle, right? Like right here. And so the lines will spawn like this. There's vertical, there's horizontal, there's two vertical, and there's a horizontal. And then there's like a star pattern kind of thing, but like it's centered around the boss. They kind of look like this. Essentially, it's really bad to be like around these spots because this is where like most of the overlap happens, especially if you're close to the boss where it's more like intertwined. So like usually I go like 5.5 or 6.5. These are the spots I usually go to. And I do it here. It's like right here. You can see that there's the last one, which is going to explode immediately. It's right here and directly at 6. And I get completely farmed here. Yeah. So ideally, you are standing even in the second position, like right here. This is where I would stand. I would stand here, now that I know, for like future reference. I would stand the second one. After the fourth one explodes, go here, move left, and then back right. And then here, you just send your full burst. But you hold your T skill. You send everything but your T skill, and then afterwards, after you dodge the 2 lines, the 4 lines rather, there's 1, 2. Now you atro here. And obviously I don't atro immediately because like my skill's in cooldown. Dodging blue, or dodging red, and now I atro. Spacebar down, charge Slinger into the boss. I could finish T skill here. Yeah, I do. Yep. No crit. It is what it is though. Dodge that, and then that's pretty much you're cycling your all your skills until the boss is staggered. There's nothing crazy to say here aside from that first atro burst and holding your T skill. And then the timing here for this is 4 seconds after. So this person here was the last person to leave. So as soon as the last person leaves, start counting to 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The boss is there. It's really hard to fit in both your skills, so you probably get 1 skill off. So there's that. That's your greed there. And then here, you're pretty much just RPing. The direction in which the boss faces is completely RNG. It faces one person. So it's a 12% chance that it faces you. So what you can do is you can follow the group for the greatest chance of like where it's facing. It's like this is the AoE of the boss. And there's 8 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. There is a 37.5% chance the boss is over here. There is a 52% chance the boss is over here. So what you want to do, assuming you're this guy right here, is you want to counter gun lance this way towards the center, obviously. You want to be on this side because there's more people over here. There's a greater chance of you being able to hit your front attack counter gun lance. And because everyone's like down here, it faces down here. That's how I would play that. Obviously, it's not guaranteed, right? Because it's complete RNG, but it is what it is. And typically, the boss doesn't spin here. But there is one pattern where he just fucking flips like a Beyblade, and it's fucking annoying. Pray that the boss doesn't spin, because, I mean, there's nothing you can do. If it does spin, I mean, it does suck, but like, it's kind of like Behemoth, in which just try to get every skills. I feel like there's not much to say here. And here, you don't have to dodge this. You can counter gun lance this. Counter gun lance, spacebar, use big skill, like Surge Cannon or Charge Singer. Or you can just pre-charge Surge Cannon and then Charge Singer immediately afterwards. You can fit in that. You have some time. Here, I'm just AFK. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And in this, I usually get all my skills off as fast as possible. And then if I get the puddle, I just get out. And it's fine because all my big skills are on cooldown, so I don't really mind. And then I can go back in and then use like maybe 1, maybe even 2 skills. I don't greed for too much because after Carmine's gone, there's a huge thing in the middle. You cannot counter gun lance this. You might be able to live, but like I fucking die. Same thing. Taunt, bash, Surge Cannon, and if it spins, it spins. It is what it is. There's no spin here. Charge Singer, counter gun lance. Yeah. If I had spacebar, cancel, maybe I can make it, but obviously, I did not. Left, right, stab. Can counter gun lance that. See, absorb. There's White Sword. I missed my taunt because I'm farmed. Dodge the red. And then this, the co-op counter that no one copes because it's a bad follow-up. It hurts a lot. So if you don't have taunt or counter gun lance, it's really hard to tank. Or if you don't have support DR or whatever. And you can see, even though my counter gun lance doesn't go up, if you don't know, counter gun lance requires at least 0.1 seconds before you can actually like proc it, right? So if you watch here, I press counter gun lance, and I get the shield. As you can see, I don't lose any shield meter. I tank the initial hit, but my countergun lance doesn't go off because I hit it too late. Because there's like a small fraction of a second in which you get the shield, but like you can't immediately countergun lance. So like that's another way you can use countergun lance as well. Here I hold my taunt because there's no point to, and then you can see me gravitating to the bottom. I can go 6.5 here. Yeah, dodge that first one, and then simple as that. It's that easy. Unfortunately, because I do Surge Cannon and then wait and then Charge Singer, my cooldowns are a little misaligned. But like, if you hold your Surge Cannon, you can still fit them both on our Atro. It's not that tight. Obviously, Surge Cannon, Atro, and someone said Taunt, Bash, Surge Cannon, and that's just unlucky. I fucked up here. I mean, I should have counted gun lance rather than trying to fit in another Charge Singer. That's just bad on my end. And then I fuck up my counter gun lance too. I mean, it's just bad. I mean, it's prog. There's not what you do. I don't know if that was good or not. Probably not, though. I feel like the patterns in Gate 1, Phase 1 aren't too horrible. It's afterwards where it gets bad. Like in where like you have the bad camera angle. I just really don't like. Also, you do need to be aware of using a charge singer from a distance because if you have an arson bard, because the circle is a thing. Paladin, you don't have to worry about that because Paladin is Paladin. It just has a AoE AP buff. There's no positional. And also one thing that you can probably make use of is my Dasher Fire dash. It's not a lot of distance, but like you can see here, I use it to dodge a red line. Right here. It's really, really good for short burst movement. Kind of like a shield dash, but I don't have shield dash on. Probably could try using it though. You show us when you get sent to Africa 2 times in a row. It's probably right here. But I think the way I get sent is just so fucking like because I come back and immediately I'm in the red cone. But yeah. Last person's note. 1, 2, 3, 4. There he is. That's how you agreed that. Let's skip over this because there's dodging. And then I feel like here I'm just trying to get as many skills off as I can. Because this phase is just so annoying when he turns around. Just because he's so big. Yeah, I hate this. Fucking make this guy omnidirectional too. Why not? Make everyone omnidirectional. Just raise the floor of entropy. This game's too hard. Yeah, that one. That first slam, you definitely have a lot of time to read there. Well, not a lot, but like you definitely have some time to get both skills off. Or at least 2 skills off. And then here, I would Atro, but my T skill's on cooldown, so I don't. Same thing, get all your skills off, then get out. And drop the puddles outward. Go in. I mean, it's probably a mistake to taunt here, honestly. It's actually a mistake. And then dodge that. You had one surge cannon off, and then I'd immediately go down to hit the boss. I think for here, for this initial suck, you can definitely go your T skill and then back a little bit, and then start the boss. I think I could have gotten a charging here, but I wanted to like make sure that I had like my position ready. I think I fuck over Billy here because we're just like going back and forth. It's just really unlucky. I think Billy dies. Or the base gets farmed. Is it though? No, it's probably not. That's probably what I did. Don't after there. I would not. I always try to keep an eye on my T skill cooldown because like it's pretty bad to Atro without your T skill. I mean your T skill is like a huge damage. It's really good to Atro that. And then here you can just tank this. And this part of the fight, it's really, really bad. I think one of the biggest tips I can give you this phase is go to the back. Because the boss spins a lot, if you just go to the back, there's a pretty good chance he'll spin towards you and you'll be able to hit the front. So yeah, go to the back. But yeah, I mean, it's just as bad as Daemon Gate 4. There's not much you can do. If you know Daemon Gate 4 patterns, it's a little bit more bearable. But, man, I mean, the boss will spin. You get used to it. And that's not Gate 1, right? I mean, I don't think people need Gate 1 tips. I think Gate 1, you just fucking power through it, right? The boss will die. Yippee, he's dead. Alright, Gate 2. Gate 2, I mean, initial part of the fight, I think here it's better to taunt towards 7 rather than 9 because he's going to turn, right? Obviously, right now I'm at 11. I think it's better if I go down like right a little bit more south and taunt here because if you notice, when you surge cannon, he's going to turn halfway through if you're not fast enough. And because he turns, there are opportunities for you to like miss your surge cannon, especially the last tick because it does turn. So if you like angle a little more down towards 7, you can probably land all ticks without being worried. And then charging immediately afterwards because it's guaranteed that he'll do this backwards jump pattern. And then I would not T-skill like I did here. I'd rather use my gunline shot because he can turn immediately like this. You can miss. This is a counter pattern. It's a really good pattern for you to T-skill. And I tend to like to rely on my supports for the counter. But I think the big thing here is I want to talk about is the taunt. Because the boss is tauntable, it's been a while since we have a boss that's tauntable, but it's something that is really, really important to cover. And a lot of people have like a lot of like the wrong idea about it. So how taunts in Lost Ark work, if you don't know, is there's a green man. This green man fucking sucks. It's right here. It's this buff. It looks like the shield you get when you press Nella. It's a shield icon. It's on the buff. And essentially what this is you cannot taunt. And so if we look at this graph, right, each one of these notches is a taunt. The boss starts off, he's tauntable, meaning that your first taunt will aggro the boss. It'll make him spin to you. And the second one as well. Here's the first taunt, right? And we can see the debuff come here. 15 seconds. The first time you taunt, the debuff was only 15 seconds. The next time, after you taunt him again, it's 30 seconds. Meaning your first and second taunts should aggro the boss. This one will miss, this one will hit, this one will miss, this one will hit. Meaning that every other taunt, you're aggroing the boss. You're controlling the boss. And you should always play it like around like this. Meaning my next taunt, even though it's coming up, I'm going to hold it. I'm not taunting the boss. And right now, I'm communicating that. It's 4 seconds. Next taunt, I'm going to aggro the boss. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. After this pattern, I'm going to taunt the boss. I'm going to taunt it here. And so I do. And now, next time, it's going to look, if you look at the top right here, it's going to be 30 seconds. Or close enough to 30 seconds. I think it's 20, 21, 22. Either way, whatever the fuck it is, your next taunt will not taunt the boss. And because of the time mechanic in Gate 2, this usually means the next taunt that comes up is going to be on the time mechanic, which is at 12:55, so your third taunt will not work either. Well, I had to do 3x turn, but only run against the wall. Yeah, usually if he's on the wall, he'll just do it twice. So yeah, I already taunted. Now it's coming up. It's 13:05. If I had taunt here, actually, I can probably taunt it here. Yeah, I come taunt, and now it's 12:55. Next taunt will not be able to taunt. Now it's 30 seconds. Actually, did I just learn that? It was like what? 15, 22, 30, 30. So yeah, it scales upward. So plus 7, plus 8, 30, 30. After 30, it doesn't get any longer. I mean, it's just bad. And then you can greed there. I usually get at least 2 skills off. And then for this pattern, I don't like Shanna's positioning. I know, I mean, it's a mechanic, you can do however you want, right? But like for this, I like to stand on the side of his body and then block it that way. So like if you can see here, this is going to hit him probably. But like because I'm on the side, when I get the line, it will be off of him. So he doesn't have to worry about that. And I can dodge inwards, kind of like that. Also, I just prefer being on the left because the boss turns to the left and I can immediately charge thing or surge cannon. And if your damage is high, it'll phase immediately, but here it doesn't. Here you can taunt it. Usually I don't because by now the boss already phased and it phased at 235, so it's already 235. You're not getting a second skill. You can only get charge thing in because it'll phase immediately. And immediately when it gets up, it'll phase. And now it's the yard. Depending on your cooldowns, if they're short enough, You should be able to get 2 cycles in here, and you should. You should always use at least 2 cycles of skills here. Always get at least 2 cycles of skills here because it is damage. It's 10%, but you know, 10% still something at the end of the day. And then here, if it's already phased, you can get 2 skills in if you're fast. Taunt, bash before it's gone, and then by now I'm already too late. I think by the explosion, you want to be casting your skill. So this explosion here. Boom. You should be casting already. I'm a little slow. And you can use your taunt here because it's long enough to the point where your taunt will come back up after this little intermission. Exile is so annoying, especially when it's on you. I think there's one pattern that a lot of people don't know of that's aggro based, and like they will just, because they're so close to the boss, it just flips back and forth. I think that one's really important. But yeah, this one's front dangerous. If you don't kind of go in, take a lot of damage here. I think I lose all my shield meter. Yeah. And then this one I die too often because I'm a fucking noob, but this shit on the floor lingers and it does a lot of fucking damage. I think I've died to like 4 times. I really taunt for Space America. No. And I would never do that. The reason being is because when you're holding taunt, that means you're holding damage. And you never want to hold damage in a fight where the more damage you do, the easier it is. It's why I have this, right? This graph, your first taunt will hit, your second taunt will hit, third taunt will miss, your fourth taunt will hit, your fifth will miss, and your sixth will hit. Every other taunt. I'm never holding it for a specific pattern. I know Memo talked about like there's that one tentacle pattern where like if you get grabbed, it's really bad, so if you can be taunt and cancel, it's really good. But like there is not a single situation in which you should ever hold your taunt for that. Never. The only time this is possible is because if it lines up with the cooldown of your taunt and the cooldown of the debuff on the boss. You should never hold. It's really, really bad for you to hold. You're losing you're losing DPS by waiting. You're griefing the raid in a sense. If you've watched me prog, I'm always coming like this. Right now, it's probably a good time for me to say, boss is untauntable, I'm going to taunt. I'm going to taunt after this pattern, the boss is not moving. Boss is not moving. Boss is not moving. I've taunted. Now it's taunted. Boss is not moving. Right? And now, I can't taunt it. But like, you can see right here, it's 9 seconds on the cooldown of the immunity. I'm going to taunt it again after that. Actually, that's not true, because I noticed this specific instance in which it's going to phase at 12:55 for the time mechanic. So I just taunt for synergy, and I send all my skills. Also, it's staggered, which just happened to line up nicely. But yeah, immediately goes into the mechanic right here, but afterwards, actually, this is a good example of it phasing immediately. Right here. Charge Stinger. You can try to surge can it, but like, as you can see, the last tick gets immune because it phases immediately. So I think the best thing to do there is probably Charge Singer, Gunline Shot. If you have it, of course, which you should. Zaya, yeah. Zaya is really annoying. Especially if you're, I mean, it can be free if it's on you, but like if it's like spinning, it's really bad. Right here is also a really good pattern to calm your taunt. And what I mean by that is that boss is not turning, boss not moving. I dark, taunt, atro. I think I atro here, yeah. Yeah, I atro here. But like, it's a really, really good time to taunt here because you can force the boss to just stand still. And how I usually do it is I wait for the boss to like move a little bit so that I know that he's like starting a pattern and then I immediately taunt. This is Vesco, this is bullshit. Oh, don't get grabbed. I think here. Yeah, I need to stop going to 9. I think it's better if you get a little bit more south because I think right here my surge kind of misses. It doesn't, but it should, is what I'm trying to say. Is it this pattern? No, it's not this pattern. This pattern is nice, but does a lot of damage. Here's 5 seconds. I taunt anyways. Yeah, if I'm being honest, there's a lot of things in Gate 2 I still don't know. Because it's only been 1 week, right? But yeah, I mean that's a bad taunt. I think that was a bad taunt. I get that, but let's say he's already an easy pattern, then hold the taunt to cancel the next pattern. I'm not saying hold it for any longer and then an additional pattern. There's definitely some situations in which you should hold it. You're not wrong. For example, if he's doing like a pattern where he's not already moving. For example, spit. There's one pattern where like he'll vomit. There's a red indicator like this, and he just spits for like 2 or 3 seconds. In that situation, I would stand on either side, for example, the bottom side. After he's done, a walk in, taunt. Kind of like that. Aside from like that, and like I think like one other pattern, if the boss is not already moving and he's already standing still, I would not taunt. I'd wait until after he's done, then taunt to like force him to stand still. But in almost every other situation, I would never taunt. Never hold taunt, I mean. Just always keep it up as much as possible. Just play like you normally would play, except that be aware that you can control the direction of the boss. Yeah. For example, this pattern right here. Right here, he does not turn, so I won't taunt that. But I'll taunt afterwards. Like right now. But like he's not tauntable, obviously. You can see the boss has 12 seconds on cooldown. I should taunt here, but I don't. But I think the reason why is because I'm holding it from big skills. Okay, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Yeah, I think at this point, I think this is like second clear, so I really don't know what I'm doing here. I think Cure my Surge Cannon miss. I think at some point they start missing him. Taunt, bash, Surge Cannon, but it turns. Maybe it's wrong. No, but like you should have to go 7 and taunt. I think it's on Zai. That's on me. And then wait a little bit and kind of go nuts. I kind of go nuts way too early. It's not be a dick and do an awful taunt and screws over other protectors. Yeah, just don't like that's a bad taunt. Like that's a bad taunt because it's doing a counter pattern. Like if it's doing a counter pattern, I would not taunt. Either. I'd wait until after the counter to taunt. I think right here, I think the right play, even though it's coming off cooldown, like right here, you can see the cooldown of the buff is coming down soon. I think the right play here is to hold the taunt. Instead of bursting like that. And then calm that I'm taunting. But my next taunt, obviously, like right now, I'm kind of like right now, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, boss not moving, 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 and then just scared. There's obviously patterns that like you can't taunt like that one, obviously. But am I wrong to say the boss not moving? I mean, he's not moving. He's fucking stunned. Boss not moving. I was right. Yeah. Basically, fundamentals when you're good. High on DPS class, best time to use as much damage as possible to phase the boss faster. Yeah. At the end of the day, your job is kind of split. Like, yeah, you're a DPS class, but at the same time, there goes TCO. You're controlling the aggro of the boss, and you're making the raid more playable for everyone else. There's some point. I know I'm not wrong. Yeah. I'm a little high up here. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I'm delusional. I don't know. Please tell me I missed this one. I'm pretty sure I missed that. Either way, just go to 7 and taunt. Don't go to 9, go to 7. That way you have a less chance of missing. Oh, this one right here. Right here. This pattern, I would not taunt because the boss is just standing still. He's not doing anything. So even if it was tauntable, don't taunt. It's not tauntable right now, but like if it was, I would immediately go in the front after he's done spitting, then taunt. Keep it still. That's what I mean by that pattern. Yeah, you can see here. I should start with bash. I don't here. I wait for the boss to do something, and then taunt immediately. Like he starts moving, boom. No, you're not. And it's like a little extra second where like they can play the game. Look at my C's got 6 billion. Holy fuck. That's so hot. I mean that's like most things. I feel like I mean I ended up taking like half like these patterns because like they're just so bullshit like that. Now I have 4 stacks for fun. If you think about it, right? If you tank as much as possible, so much so that you have like the majority of the stacks, so that no one else has stacks, it's actually not bad. That way, the other people in your raid don't have time to get stacked, and that you're the only one frozen for when you get to 15. Think about that for a second. And this pattern, where it's just tornado for Yoho, I like to run on the edge, because like it's pretty easy to dodge on the edge. Where's gate 3 VOD? I'll go over the gate 3 VOD after this. That's counter pattern. But if I had T-skill here, it's a good outro. Oh, I'm just not a fan of Gate 1 T2. I don't think anyone is either. It's just so bad. That's just fucking bullshit. You take Linger Taunt Trap for Gate 2? No. The nice thing about Taunt is this, right? This shield. And what this means is you have a guaranteed 4-second window in which Barricade is active. Unless you don't run Barricade, in which case I don't really know what the fuck you're doing. This shield is really, really nice. Because if you look at this, notice how long it takes for a shield to kick in when I press my identity. And yet it doesn't matter if you're using Surge Cannon, right? Because you're still charging it and charging it, right? But let's say you want to use upfront skill like this. That first half of my gunland shot did not receive barricade buff. Or gunland shot. Or T skill. The first few ticks of my T skill just did no damage. I mean, they did damage, but like, it's not full damage. But like, when you taunt, that covers that gap for the first few seconds of your shield. You can clearly see when it kicks in, right? Like, I taunt now. There it is. So, the shield from taunt is very, very nice for covering that gap when you go into your shield stance. I would never take lingering taunt. This pattern 2 is actually really good to not cancel. I'm fucking trolling. This pattern. It's actually this pattern. This pattern right here. This pattern aggroes onto someone. Kind of like Aegir counter pattern when he jumps up in the air. Same shit. For 4 turns, for 4 actions, she targets on someone. So like, for example, if you're really close to the boss and he dashes over you, she's going to dash back and completely flip 180. So like, if it's aggro on you, if you notice it's aggro on you, run in a straight line. That way, if you run in a straight line, the boss will aggro onto you and just run in the straight direction. Rather than boss going up, going down, going up, going down, pissing off everyone. But obviously right here, it flips 180 every single time. It's really annoying. And this is the mechanic. Don't DPS after this, obviously, because it's just phase. So just Surge Cannon here. I think the same thing here. I try to taunt, but like, it does a pattern untauntable, I think, or something like that, or I get cancelled. Something stupid. I don't have taunt. I lied. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But yeah, I think this is, oh, I most of the patterns. I think I try to taunt here. I comp taunt. Yeah. And then I send everything. This is a counter pattern. Yep. When he does the X and the plus with the clones. Then this is just guard into counter. Counter is a little bit delayed. 1, 2, counter. And then you can send everything here. And then this is bullshit. I think this is just Vesco. You can't taunt Vesco. You can't taunt double grab. I hate this one a lot. It should be tauntable. But here I'm pretty sure I'm coming taunt. And I taunt it afterwards. I think the reason why I taunted here is to stop it from spinning because I'm going to get like infinite stacks if I don't. This one too I dodge. Because that will also give you infinite stacks. And then I think at this point I'm holding my taunt. I'm not. I'm fucking dumb. I should hold my taunt. But I'm not. I think here I should be able to precast here. I don't know why I don't. I'm actually playing for the clear. I'm too ethical. I think here. No, I don't. I should though. It's phased. I think that's why. Alright, so for Velga, this is Aatrox. Same as Gate 3 mine. And then just guard. I failed though. For here, I think what you should do always is say fuck Velga for the first round at least. And then just hyper. And then just greed the entire thing. It's going to flip the frontal, so just be aware of that. Okay, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. Only notable change for red GL is switching Fireball to Rising Gun Lance in Gate 3. Yeah. And I think Gate 3 is where a lot of people have issues, but it's less so than Gate 2. I think Gate 2 is definitely like the biggest hurdle. And then I think Gate 3 is tough for a lot of people just because it's so long. Also, something I don't see a lot of people doing is changing your pet. I don't know if you don't have it or not, but like it's a 3.5% damage. And it's kind of a lot at the end of the day. But yeah, really, really important thing. I know I said it earlier, but I'll say it again. Rising Gun Lance. Really, really good skill. It's really, really good. You're missing out on a lot of damage because you're not taking it. It's stronger than Dash for Fire. But the main thing is, even if you put it on, you're not going to magically do an extra 30 million damage. You need to be able to use it properly. What I mean by that is use it off cooldown. You need to prioritize it. So in Gate 3, when you're using Rising Gun Lance, you have a new priority. Your priority is Taunt, Bash, Rising Gun Lance, Surge Cannon, Dinger, Gun Lance Shot, Spear Dash, Dash for Fire. That's all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What am I missing? Oh, CGL. CGL, but like CGL is like an asterisk. Always use your skills in this order. Taunt, Bash, Rising Gun Lance, Surge, Dinger, Gun Lance Shot, Spear Dash, Dash for Fire. The reason for this is that Rising Gun Lance, you can use it as you are using other skills because it lingers on the boss. So as you're using Rising Gun Lance, you can get your Surge and Stinger off. And by the time you probably use both of these, Rising Gun Lance is already off cooldown. Use it again, Gun Lance Shot, Spear Dash. It's off again, Rising Gun Lance, Dash for Fire. Kind of like that. And I'll show you what it looks like right now. So Taunt, Bash, Rising Gun Lance, Surge Cannon, Charge Stinger, Gun Lance Shot, Rising Gun Lance. Spear Dash, Bash, Dash for Fire, Rising Gun Lance. In that short period in which I use all my skills, I use it 3 times. Now let's see you don't use off first, right? On bash, surge cannon, charge singer, gunland shot, T skill, dash for fire, Rising Gun Lance. Big difference. You can tell the difference. I used Rising Gun Lance 2 last time, but I get all the skills off in the same amount of time. Not the same amount of time, but like in a short amount of time. It probably takes like a little bit more. Big difference is, in that time, I got 2 extra Rising Gun Lances because I'm weaving through my skills. It's really, really important that you prioritize Rising Gun Lance first over all your skills. Tripods for Rising Gun Lance 212. You want 1 damage gem on it. There's 2 different gems you can use for this one, I think. The first one is you always want a damage gem on these 5 skills, which is Surge Cannon, Charge Singer, Gunland Shot, Dash for Fire, and Rising Gun Lance. You can run count damage gem on counter gun lance, up to you, preference. Cooldown gem on Dash for Fire, Surge Cannon, Charge Singer, Gunland Shot, Taunt. And then the last gem, you can either damage or cooldown counter gun lance. Either one, whichever you prefer. Because I think counter gun lance really does shine as a utility skill in here, and it can really, really save you in like multiple moments. You can even run quick prep if you really want to, completely fine, but you're doing less damage for survivability's sake, up to you. And that makes it what? I go from like 15 to 11 second cooldown. If you throw a cooldown gem on that for fun, let's say you have an 8, pretty standard, put that on 9 seconds. Although I don't really know why you would put a cooldown on it if you're taking quick prep. Just take quick prep, it's easier, you don't have to change gems. You have a time stop on a 9-second cooldown. And obviously this isn't actually a real time stop, let's not be a dumbass. For example, if you fucked up during 325 where you have to go out and in the yellow orb where he puts on his hand, you'll die because you can't tank that. But in 99% of situations, this will save you, especially with protection on it. You can never die. Unless you fall from the map, then a counter gun lance can save you there. First start of the fight, taunt, bash, rising gun lance. Always, 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 always. I think here, I'm a little bit of an idiot. Always use taunt, bash, rising gun lance when you start off. I wasn't prioritizing rising gun lance first, but I start to. Yeah. Shotgun. I can look at your log specifically, right? Because you're here and I've seen it before. I'll look at your log. And I know you don't need like a rocket science to figure it out. Your gunland shot is fucking piss shit terrible. It's 3.3. And I'm sure you know that, right? It's really, really low. If you look at my log or Dan's log, for example, rising gun lance above dash for fire. My log, rising gun lance above dash for fire. Rising lance is you really do need to prioritize it because of that lingering effect that you can use. Because Firebolt and Rising Gun Lance, I think Firebolt does do more damage than Rising Gun Lance. However, the problem is time. Firebolt is very, very expensive when it comes to time because you need to spend time to cast it. Whereas with Rising Gun Lance, you press it, you're still hitting. It's all good. And as you're hitting that, you can use other skills. And boom, Rising Gun Lance again, use another skill. It's really, really good. It's like multitasking. Ideally, your Rising Gun Lance is above 6 CPM. If it's 5, it's completely fine. But I think if it's below 5, you're kind of trolling. You're not using it to like its maximum potential. Rising Gun Lance above dash for fire always. Always. And I also think that this is one of the fights where if you're playing well, your CPM will be really, really high. For example, my first clear, my main, I have a CPM of 3 surge cannons per minute. That is insanely high. Considering my surge cannon has a 17-second cooldown with like, not accounting for quick recharge obviously, but quick recharge will decrease that cooldown. That means I'm using a surge cannon less than 3 seconds after it's off cooldown. So I think a good indicator of how well you're playing is do a pull without mana food. And if you're running out of mana, you're playing well. If you're not running out of mana, you need to be more aware of your skills. Rising Gun Lance. Use it often. Always use it. Rising Gun Lance should never be on cooldown. Never be off cooldown. Right here I'm fucking trolling. I don't know what I'm doing, but I think after a certain point I like focus up. Because we don't clear this day. I clear my main the next day. We only cleared once on day 1. Yeah. I think the most important thing to talk about is probably the first phase of the fight. You can see me just chasing the fucking boss. I don't think it's really good for me to show like these earlier pulls because I think I was too unaware. This is a grab. This grab, for example, I get grabbed by this a lot, but the way to dodge this one, there are certain situations that you can't dodge it. For example, if you're sitting here in the middle of the boss, casting Surge Cannon, you're fucked. You cannot get out. Your Surge Cannon's going off. You're fucking dead. The way you dodge this is the boss. These are his arms. So the grab radius is all of this shaded area right here, right? But let's say that you're this yellow circle. What you want to do is not spacebar back. If you spacebar back, you're gonna grab. What you want to do is spacebar into his armpit. You need to spacebar this way and this way, whichever you're closer to. If you're in the middle, fuck it, just choose one. Doesn't matter. You want to spacebar into his arms. That's where like the hitbox is a little more ambiguous. When you spacebar back, his arms are still lengthy enough to the point where he can still grab you from like half distance to the edge. I think it's actually like this outer circle, a little less than this outer circle. So you want to go towards his armpit like I do here. Phase 1 sucks when everyone's running in circles, 100%. But there are some tips I can give you to make it a little less shit. This just guard, if you don't know, you just guard whenever he like brings his arm up. I don't know why I don't. I think I get completely farmed by it for like the first time around, but I learned. Right now. You just guard right now. And then you stagger. Okay, so the reason why I got it back there is because I just assume he's going to turn. If he phases, obviously not going to turn. When he phases, if you don't know, these blue indicators right here, I'll show you right here. These 3 blue indicators, this is where the lightning will spawn. So what you can do is you can counter gun lance a blue. You won't get stunned, but you should spacebar out immediately because you'll get stunned if you're sitting in it. You can see that's where they spawn. And then right here, if I had the skills, this is how you greet this. Rising gun lance right here. Charge Stinger as soon as this middle lightning passes. So you charge Stinger right here. And here, on the inside, when it's coming clockwise, you go to the left side of his face, or his right, your left. You surge cannon, but you aim it towards the boss so that you're pushing yourself backwards towards this second ring. Like right here, if the thing's over here, you can surge cannon here and push yourself back towards the front. After the third one, you have like a second or two to hit. You can surge cannon here as well. Taunt bash, I should Rising Gun Lance here. But you can see when I go up, I don't go up to the front. You can see what I do is I run up, I go to the side immediately. Because what I assume is that the boss is going to turn to one of these idiots, and it typically turns to the back. So I run to the back. You can see he flips 180. For this pattern, if you get hit by it, he does a laser. This is what I mean by when you should take protection. Because when you counter gun lance this, I showed this earlier, but I'll show it again. Counter gun lance, no protection, this is what it looks like. Notice the shield. Immediately, as soon as it hits me, the shield is gone. I'll show it again. Immediately gone. But when you take protection on it, your shield lingers. Right here. That. And it allows you to preserve some of your shield meter. So like if you're on eye level, this is really, really important. What I like to do is you can surge cannon sideways. Yeah, you can surge cannon sideways as well to push yourself. But like that relies on you being on the very corner of the boss. So it's not very good. I think when you watch me prog, I definitely do it a lot. Now this is IQ. What I like to do is I like to find the first one, and then I grade through it. And then I spacebar onto the first one as soon as it explodes. It does move pretty fast, so you can't always get as much as you can off of it, but like you can try to do your best, I guess. It's really hard. And this is the grab where he puts his hand out and he swipes backwards, kind of like if you've ever swam before and you're doing butterfly, it's kind of like that motion, the butterfly swim, if you know what that is. Where he just swings his arm back. You should never get grabbed by this. I'm not a fan of tanking this because he does do a lot, but you can counter gun lance and then move to the side because if you look right here, this circle, this is like the kind of the AoE. You can see like there's a little bit of the front where you can still hit without getting hit by the actual slam of the grab. You can surge cannon facing away from me. Oh, hit all hits. Yeah, you can also do that as well. Sitting here, all my skills on cooldown. You can when you counter gun lance these stock of lightning, you have to be careful because your counter gun lance does not linger enough to completely immune by that. What I mean by this is that when you spacebar that, you're also giving yourself additional push immunity. So let's say right here, I counter gun lance this, but I don't spacebar. Counter gun lance right now, if I'm inside that stock of lightning, I'm stunned. It does not linger enough for you to completely tank the entire stock. So you have to either you have to counter gun lance and spacebar out immediately, or you have to die. I guess, pretty much. Because you can't counter glance the whole thing. Great move to do for a lot of front safe pattern during half stage break. A CGL sideways bit. Yeah. I'll go over that a bit when I get to like stage break, but there's definitely a lot of opportunities for you to do that as well. You know, sideways go through the whole pillar of lightning. Oh, really? Yeah, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. And this one, you can counter gun lance the little lightning there at the end, and then just guard as well. This one, surge cannon, spacebar out, charge stinger in. It's actually a perfect way to greet this. Surge cannon sideways, as soon as I see the stock. Surge cannon sideways, spacebar out, charge stinger in. Counter gun lance, spacebar. Actually, yeah. You can also counter gun lance the edge of this as it comes along to push yourself outside of the radius of the stock. That's actually perfect. I think this is the clip I had in mind. I think right here I said, oh, this is actually a perfect way to greet this. I'm going to clip this for later. I didn't clip it, but like this is exactly what I mean by like how you can greet this pattern. Charge Stinger moves are so good for these lightning phases. Yeah, but you do have to be aware of circle if you're playing with Bard or Artist. Paladin, you don't have to wear as much, but yeah, really, really good. Same thing again, the back grab, cutting glance first or whenever you can, and try not to tank it. I really don't like taking that pattern. I don't like taking a lot of things there actually. Same thing here. Find the first one that explodes. Kind of go. You can kind of go into the thing, and then just start. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here, but you can spacebar as well, because you do have two forms of status immunity. And this pizza one, this is really, really easy to greet. So what you do is you find a spot where it aligns with the color. Right here, for example. And this first explosion will tell you where the next explosion is as well. So the second explosion, red, blue, red, blue, red. These will be the same exact colors. So you can charge singer or search cannon here, whatever whatever floats your boat. See, same colors here. This third one is where it can flip colors or change colors. So like it could be red, but it could also be yellow or blue. So immediately play on the edge. See, it turns blue. Go over here, and then I wait for the last one. Last one here, red. Now you can cancel again, cast again as soon as you get there. And this one elevates the color count of that one, and then send your skills. I don't really prioritize the destruction. If Rising Guns is up, I'll fucking press it. I don't really care, because you can just, you have time. You're usually going to get the destruction. If your destruction's high, you'll get in the second one. Otherwise, you get in the third one. And because of that, I don't really stress the destruction of my skills. I'll just press whatever I want, as long as I can hit the front attack. And this is counter, double counter. Double counter, you can hit both of them with dash or fire. Kind of like this. When you use dash or fire, you hold it. Or you're like spamming it, like you're like mashing the button like this. It goes off like that. But when you delay it, you press it, and then you let it linger. You can hit both of them, like this. Rather than this, where it's kind of like instant, kind of. If you press it, wait a second, and then press it again, before like the cooldown appears, you can linger it. So that's a quick tip for double counter. It's really, really nice. Obviously, you can also just bash and then dash for fire if you want that as well, if that's up. But yeah, I have no skills. There's Rising Gun Lance, all my destruction afterwards. And then here's the mech, Rising Gun Lance. And something I started doing, because I noticed it, because it's a huge mistake that I've been making. Right here, press Rising Gun Lance. Just press it. Press it, space over. Rising Gun Lance here. You should be able. You should Rising Gun Lance no matter what. Running along, Rising Gun Lance. If you're standing as close as I am, you can actually Rising Gun Lance and hit the front still. But like usually I'm over here because I'm trying to give myself distance between the laser and me. In the event that I fuck up, just Rising Gun Lance. Rising Gun Lance. Just press it. I also use counter gun lance here if I'm ever like in a city situation I don't have spacebar to like immune the stun. But I should be pressing Rising Gun Lance here. Always, always, always. This mechanic is really, really easy for counter gun lance and Rising Gun Lance. Both skills. Really, really easy to use. What reason you Rising Gun Lance? Quick recharge. Legendary quick recharge. I don't think there's any other rune you can use. I mean, you can use CJ, but Conviction Judgment is so ass, I feel like. I hate using CJ. I'm not a big fan. Always, quick recharge. Bleed and Poison aren't that good because you can use Other Splitter. I also don't use Bleed and Poison, but Rising Gun Lance quick recharge, always. Legendary. Really good. I think quick recharge, is kind of is interchangeable. You can use it, blues on Bash, Dash or Fire. Purple on either Rising Gun Lance or Shout of Hatred. I think this is better because when it procs, you can really see it. There it is. That huge jump saves 3 seconds on taunt. Okay, so I took a little bit to proc it, but obviously it's not 100%, but when it's there, you really do notice it. And it does scale off of how much time you have on your skill. So for example, if you have it on like Rising Gun Lance, you're not going to notice much because it's not going to be 3 seconds, right? Obviously. It's going to be something like 1 second, less than a second. You won't notice it as much. But like when it procs, you'll be able to notice because there's a visible like jump, the cooldown animation kind of thing. And this, when you see this, when he's holding red and blue, you can counter gun this as well. This is a pretty free one to counter gun lance. And then always look at your debuff bar here to see if you have a lightning stock. And get that shit out. If you really want to, you can charge singer in, but like you'll probably miss the front, so don't do it. I wouldn't recommend it. And this one, same thing. I mean, it's kind of hard to agree on this one, but like you can. I typically don't though. I'd rather just live. For the last one you can, but yeah. Same thing here. Counter gun lance. I mean, you don't have the space run to the middle like I do. You can go to one of his hands because the hitbox is a little wide. So like you can stand like right around like right here where I'm standing right now and counter gun lance. So that way it pushes you out so you don't take the whole thing. That's the back grab. I don't know, I didn't get grabbed there, but it's a fucking miracle I didn't. This 1-2. Yeah, for the 1-2, you can spacebar and follow it, or you can kind of gun lance. It does do a lot of damage. And this is where he spins, side safe. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, phase one's really, really annoying. And it's like it's obviously the worst part of the fight for all entropy, right? But I feel like half of it's RNG, half of it's like, how well are you able to solve each pattern? I guess, kind of. And that kind of comes with like intuition, I want to say. Like knowing what to do, knowing what to do, how to do it, what's the best way of doing something. That's all intuition. I feel like that's not something you can really teach. That's something you just like, naturally learn. But yeah, as soon as quick as you get weak point attack on directional, just start sending all your skills off cooldown, off cooldown. Like right now, I should be using. I think right now, I think the reason why I stopped using skills is because I wanted to see if I can get that strength orb. You can't. It's off the map. Unlucky. I think it's the only reason why I stopped using skills. Otherwise, I'd be sending all my skills here. Yeah. This is a red front. Oh, I'm kind of trying. I should be using Rising on Lance. It's just off cooldown. Rising on Lance is off cooldown. I think eventually later on, I do learn, like I'm fucking trolling. I notice it mid raid, but yeah. And this pattern, I mean, it's just more important to get out and just glide your orbs. Just don't be a pig. I think it's much more important to be a pig, not be a pig on prog. That's alternate. You can kind of go lance that one. The kind of timing for this one is just when he raises axe a second time. So, not this one, but now. Not that. That's the first one. Now. You kind of got lance now. And then this is one shot. Not for you though. You just stand kind of gun lance out. It doesn't fucking do any damage. If you press kind of gun lance, it's impossible to die. Even on the eye level, doesn't do any damage. This one, if you don't position it like a dumbass, you can hit here and grieve the whole thing. So yeah, don't do that. Also, something really important to note is you should always keep an eye on the stagger bar. Not because it's a stagger, but like whenever it locks, that's how you know he's doing a important mechanic. That's really important to keep note of. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. I think I'm just being ethical. I don't know why I'm out. This is red blue, just go on your side. And then this, you should not be afraid to hit here. If your skills are on cooldown, it's fine. But if they're not on cooldown and they're up, you should be sending as much as possible. This is a free DPS window. The boss is literally doing nothing. As long as you don't use bash or dash for fire, send everything else. Don't just stand there and wait for the counter. I mean, you can if you have nothing else to do and you want to like guarantee the counter hits. Usually, everyone's not dumbass. Like you see me using let's taunt. I'm sitting here. Now I'm kind of counter. Now you send everything. Right? But like if your skills are on cooldown, you're not going to be punished for using a surge cannon. No one's going to kill you, right? It's when you use dash fire or use counter. Yeah, you're dead. And if you want to guarantee the counter, I mean, you can be ethical, but it really does ick me, you know? An ick of mine is just like, do that. Or just AFK doing that with skills up for no reason. Use my counter by accident. Well, I mean, just be aware of it. That's like a skill issue thing. You know what I mean? As Anvil, I've seen people getting bugged, with the hyper. I've never had it happen to me. As long as you use your hyper, as soon as he flashes, whenever he flashes, use hyper. I've never gotten I've never gotten fucked by this. Taunt, bash. I should rising gun lance, but I don't. I think yeah, I definitely do notice it later on. But yeah, always rising gun lance. It's just too important. Like I'm kind of trolling by not using it here. It's really really bad. Yeah. This pattern, in a sense, I feel like if the boss ever turns one direction, I think what you should do is go the other way. It's like right here, the boss turns counterclockwise, so you would run clockwise. So like kind of like this, right? It's like the boss is like this, and then he turns this way. What you should do is you should follow up with this. You should go this way. Now I'm just chasing it farther, and what my original position was like over here. I'm just running back and forth for no reason. That's a grab. Always under the arm for that grab. Easiest way to dodge it. Never go out, because if you go out, you'll probably get grabbed anyways. Yeah, I'm a fucking noob. I'm a fucking noob. I don't know why I did this either. I don't know why I did that. That was also really bad. Yeah, I might be a little bit of a crop. It is what it is, though. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm just perma-stunned. And this is a kind of gun lance, but I fuck up. I think here I would try to press it, but it was too slow. And this is red counter, but I'm blue. Mm, yeah. I don't know, I'm holding T skill for some reason. You can kind of gun lance this, and then don't send the middle of that lightning, the blue, because that will kill you. Obviously, blue, and then the same spot as blue. And then the third one, I try to play on like the edge of one, because it will change probably. There's a good chance it'll change. And then I get luck out here. So yeah, always one, two are always the same. Three, look to move, and then four, look to move as well. One color able to accidentally counter him? Yes. If you accidentally counter him, it's the same as failing a counter. And it usually leads to wipe, so don't do it. That counter there, you can double counter it with dash for fire if you linger it. You can spacebar through that, but the problem with spacebar into it, you no longer have it for this additional, which can stun you. So if you don't have counter gun lance or spacebar, you need both of them. Otherwise, you need to be lucky. These balls, you can counter gun lance them, but they do give you gauge. So you need to be aware of that. If you go to tank one of the balls, you should be informed so that you aren't getting as much gauge as you normally would. And this one, I like to run up a Fred ahead. Just be a do note. If you're spacebarring across the first laser, the balls will spawn immediately in front of you, so you need to be careful of that. Yeah, like, see, I get farmed here, I get stunned, but like the thing is, I don't get punished because I'm so far away from laser. So that's really nice. And here I'm holding Surge Cannon because I want to hit the front. I probably could afford not to, but it's what it is. Yeah, this laser pattern's really good. This is the grab, go under the arm. I'm surprised I got that one. But yeah, when you get grabbed by that frontal grab, when he goes up, just press G whenever he goes up. And then you should be fine. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. But I'm pretty much just dodging here, I'm pretty sure. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, time stop is also pretty good here. You can time stop here as well as you want. If you're progging and you don't want to die, just time stop. You have three of them, might as well use them. I don't know why I tap surging in there, that's so bad. There's no debuff, so I can sell in. It's 6-2. I honestly feel like this the uneven red blue doesn't really matter that much for Gun Lancer. Like yeah, you'll take damage, but like who gives a shit? The second slam does linger for a bit, so like right here you can see me surge cannon, like spacebar in surge cannon. You can fit that in without any problem. Okay, the charge slinger was a bit vicious. And this is co-op counter. I like to use a skill before I counter because like I usually use kind of early. Like right there, I use kind of early, and I kind of trolled. And now at this point, you can once you break, I mean, just do whatever the fuck you want. All right. I try not to hit it because I don't want to stagger too early. But yeah. Taunt, bash, send everything. It does go into a cutscene right here, so you need to be fast. You can get all your skills in, like I do here, before the cutscene goes off. But I think that's it. If you try to T-skill, you probably miss it. And right here, it's really nice to have my T-skill up because I like to Astro here as well. Like you got Surge Cannon, Astro right now, and then send everything. It's really nice. T-skill, 6 bill, boom, 5 bill. Easy. And now at this point, you're just sending everything off cooldown. Not a single thing is on cooldown. It should not be ever. Other than counter gun lance, because that's your time stop skill. Everything should be on cooldown always. Like you can see me right here as I'm in the middle of my Surge Cannon. Look at my rising gun lance. You can see it flashing because I'm just mashing it. Like right now, you can see a bit of flashing. And then it's mech, because it's 325, it goes to mech. This one right here, he does slam in front of you. The safe slot is like directly in front. But like if you use any of your skills, they'll push you back. So what you want to do, Surge Cannon away from him. So that way you're pushing yourself into the boss, kind of. And now I'm keeping an eye on the stagger bar to see when it locks, because when it locks, I need to get out of the middle. Right now, get out of the middle. Then spacebar in. I could Rising Gun Lance here if I really wanted to. But this second part hurts a lot, so don't take that. And then it's red in, or red front. Rising Gun Lance. Where is it? Rising Gun Lance. Press it. Rising Gun Lance. Also, you have a lot more range than you think. Than I think, at least. Because I'm pretty sure you can bash from like halfway out. Like where I'm standing right now, you can bash. I think the hitbox is a lot more generous than it seems, I think. Strength Orb. Easy. And this is where you hold counter. But I have Gunlight Shot, so I use Gunlight Shot. Then counter. Easy. Dash. Dash over fire. Or not dash over fire. Rising Gun Lance. Surge Cannon. Everything should be off cooldown always. I don't know why I pressed counter Gun Lance here. Maybe I was trying to like anticipate the tick damage. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But here I don't have a stock. I just the color change. Just 2 reds. I should be using Rising Gun Lance. I think it's 1 shot. Yeah. Everything should be off cooldown always. Always, always, always. That's the most important thing I can tell you. If your skill's off cooldown, you're doing something wrong. This is Anvil, obviously. Hyper Awakening as soon as he flashes, right now. As soon as he flashes, use your Hyper Awakening. Don't press anything. Hands off keyboard, hands off mouse. You should be fine. I don't know why some people are getting bugged and like their Hyper Awakening getting canceled a little bit early. But that should never be the case. And stand in front for this, because if you stand on the side, remotely close to the side, you get stunned, and that's not good. Okay, this is just a side. I went to the wrong side. That's all good. I spacebar into the right side. Dash per fire. Everything. Nothing should be on cooldown ever. Except for counter gun lance. Counter gun lance is a special case. And that's the mechanic. Oh, where even is it? Oh, it's on Shanda. Since it's over, send everything. There's no cutscene here, so you just send everything. Everything must go. Here I do hold on because my skills are like, I think as long as either one, the latest one, so let's say Charge Singer is like the ones that's high cooldown, as long as it's 9 seconds, just taunt. Because your other skills will benefit from it, your teammates will benefit from it, and it's just nice to have in general. And what's my taunt uptime in this kit actually? 90%. Is there a build plan for this somewhere? No. But if you go into my my document and you go over to Firebolt, it's pretty much this, except Rising Gun Lance, you just run 212 and then quickly charge. Yeah, once again, everything off cooldown always. Always. And then now my taunt is like low, my big skills are like low cooldown, so now it's fine to taunt. This is Cope counter, but it's staggered, so no diff. Everything off cooldown always. Always, always, always. Even during mechanics. I don't want mashing bash here. I should be rising gun lance. And then this is the mechanic. Blue right, red left. But even here, you can still be casting skills. You do need to be aware of this initial slam when he slams down his hand before he starts the mechanic. And that can push you off the map. I did die to this because I didn't realize it pushes you off the map. And yeah, don't get noob checked. You can also counter gun lance it. So if you want to do that, you can do that as well. But yeah, right here, you should be casting skills as well. Nothing stopping you. Obviously, you need to pay attention to like the orb, the mechanic, right? But like, dodge yellow, hit the boss. If you can manage that, I mean, it's a fucking free mechanic. The boss is not DR'd ever. I don't think. This slam at the end can also stun you, or it can also knock you off, and you can kind of a lot of things you can kind of gun lance. See, half the lobby is just in the air. And then this big legs, if you don't know, the direction in which it goes is whichever side has more people. So for example, there's one person over here and there's 7 people over here, which means it's going to go counterclockwise. If it's ever even, so if it's 3 and 3 or 4 and 4, it will always go left or clockwise. You can see right here. So what you can do is you can spacebar to the side which has less people, but you need to be aware if other people do that as well and change the side that has more people, it'll go that side. So be aware of that. And then red blue, same thing, except blue is out, red is in after 2. You can hit, it's not the yard still, you know, but you need to be aware of like the change and all the puddles in the back. Now you can charge singer in or use skills. That's a nothing skill for you. You can kind of glance up. That pull, that like scratch in the motion, I don't like counter glancing the first half. I like countering the slam he does afterwards because it's easier to predict where it's going to be. Because it could be direct front or like a little bit wider. So I would wait for that second slam to actually counter glance. So I would counter glance this second hit. So here's the stretch. Now the second slam, counter glance that. It's much more easy to predict. That's a flick. You need to be aware of that. You can counter gun that. And this is counter. This is co-op counter. Same thing as always. Every skill off cooldown always. And then this is Anvil. Not Anvil. 2 hammers on both sides. This Bastion. He's not DR during this, so you can just full fucking hit. Don't hold anything. Because you have time to get your skills back up because Bastion recast does take a little time. So I just saw it, quick recharge proc. But yeah. Everything always. And then here, if you're not the color, I mean, stand outside and just rising gun lance. Even if you're in your little circle, just rising gun lance. I should be pressing rising gun lance. I don't know, I'm not. I think I'm still unlocked. Playing for the clear. Also, whenever he's glowing yellow in this phase, you need to be careful because he can grab. And if you get grabbed, I mean, GG. That's a flick. Blue in, blue counter, yep. There's also Medusa, but I'm pretty sure Medusa is like a DLC pattern. Let's flick again. And this is front grab. Just card stagger. I think someone dies here actually. I think Saturn dies here. There goes Saturn. Fucking newbie. And talented. My fucking blade, man. And then this. I like to stand, whenever this happens, I like to stand on the back corner, like right here. In between, I either choose one of these 3. I either go in between either of these 2 things. On the edge to drop out my puddle. If I'm not, I'll stand in the middle and just DPS. And always, if you're going to get hit by this, always keep your shield up because you gain less gauge. Same as before. If it's equal, it will always go to the left. Our left, the boss is right. Otherwise, it'll go to the side with more people. I mean, this is the mechanic. It's on that person. Spacebar in. Stagger. Taunt. Send everything. Everything off cooldown always. I think at this point, I just start tanking everything because I really don't give a shit. I'm just hitting the boss. Because there's practically nothing that can kill me at this point. As long as I have shield meter. And I'll talk about awakening usages later. Because that's also really important. Yeah, like if you ever watch me play this quarter stage, I don't dodge a single fucking thing. I just stand in the middle, and if I see something dangerous, I'll just counter gun lance and pray that it hits me like that. And now it's dance dance. I will admit, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. I do now, but like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. It's like right now I'm blue. I should be on the left side. Now I need to react to the hammer. It's slamming left. I need to be on the right, but I'm on the left. All right, change color. I need to be here. Now I need to watch for hammer. It's on the right. I need to be on the left. And I am. I just stand there. Right. I need to go to the left. And now I need to get out. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I just completely 50-50 that entire pattern. But it is what it is. All right, blue center means red on sides. And then red in, I think. Yep. And then it's pretty much like the burst is 0 at this point. Waiting for Balthor. And this is counter. I have nothing here. So I use all my skills because I'm not punished for it ever. And I counter. Once again, everything off cooldown always. I think at this point, 30 finished over. Yeah. I don't use Rising Lancer because I don't want to stagger it. I probably could. Yeah. And then the way you greed, if you're the Mark and you use Just Guard, the way you greed is just Rising Gun Lance. Rising Gun Lance and Bash. These are the only two skills you can use here. Just Guard, and then Counter Gun Lance the last one. I don't, for some reason, I lose all my shield meter like a dumbass, but it is what it is. And then Hidden Balthor to kill the boss. Really, really easy. The boss is dead. Balthor does 66 billion damage, which is about like 20 bars. So if you got to that point and like the boss is like that low HP, means pretty dead. And this one, you're dodging Desk Gluto, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in or out. This one's out, and then checkerboard. And now at this point, you can send everything. You can collect 5 orbs to I mean, I don't really need to go over this phase, I feel like, but it's super, super easy. You're pretty much just need the boss. At this point, there's pretty much nothing that kill you other than the laser that comes out, like that laser right there, that one that killed Meowki, our last pull. I think the thing you need to be worried about is this. I think I just like completely brain off and just hit the boss anyways, but like, oh no, I didn't. I go change my color. But yeah, blue and red, you need to be aware of that because that does do a lot of tick damage. You can tank through it, but like I don't recommend it. Because you can die, and that's like the only thing that can kill you in this game. In this phase, I mean. I actually don't know about that either, because I've never tanked that, but I don't recommend you tank it. I'm a fucking noob. I got caught with the Pantheon right there. Dodge that, and then checkerboard. And then just hit the boss. That's pretty much it for Xavier Face. And that's pretty much the entire fight. By this point, the boss is already dead. I don't feel like there's anything in particular that I haven't covered that I wanted to cover. Like gate 2, the taunt mechanic is really, really important to keep track of. First 2 taunts, you hit. Third, no. Fourth, yes. Every other taunt after your first 2 are going to be taunts, so you need to go over that. Gate 1, I feel like gate 1 is just so fucking dumb. The only thing that I can really cover, I feel like in gate 1 is the first after timing. Gate 3, the first part of it is like, I want to say intuition, but like there's a lot of patterns that, like you need to be able to play around and know like what your skills do and how they move you and how you can move accordingly. But I think the biggest tip, the easiest tip I can give, in gate 3 at least, is just to fucking press rising gun lance, man. Just press that shit. If you don't, you're gonna lose all your damage. And it is what it is. It is what it is. If you press rising gun lance off cooldown, you're going to do a lot of damage. If you press everything off cooldown, you'll do a lot of damage.